Hi, welcome to the Stuck in It Zombies. I'm Amy, also known as Jane Itma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It. And this is episode 235. The one where April got away from us.
Yes, sure did.
You guys at home are probably going like, those two, they thought that their lives were busy when they had little ones.
Yeah, exactly.
But they don't know what's coming. And I can admit I had no idea just the amount of stuff that having school-age children involved in activities entails. Mm-hmm. We have 2 in soccer, which is every other night if you just have the 1 in soccer. But when you have 2 in soccer, then it's every weeknight we're transporting somebody to soccer. And there's lots of school programs and scouts and learning about middle school, which it's like brain kapow there. And then last weekend, as if we didn't have enough situations encompassed there with being busy, we both were like, it's too nice outside.
It was a beautiful weekend, and it was short-lived.
So beautiful. Like, Amy's like, do you really want to record? And it was a text, right? But I could hear it in the text, right? Like, no, I really don't. Like, I've been outside all morning with the kids, and I don't want to go back inside. It's like 70 and fabulous. And you're like, well, my garden is my yard is calling me. Yeah. So yes, we have not been diligent in our recording, although we do have a few of our mini-sodes that are out there.
Yep.
And can be put out there, so hopefully there wasn't a huge gap there. But I did just draw for the March self-striving KAL, and it's the last day of April. So lots gone on.
Yes.
I went to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, flew into North Carolina, Wilmington area, and we drove down there, and it was a really great time. Me and my pasty white children spent a great deal of time by the ocean, and there was just no putting enough sunscreen on us. So the sun was like our biggest roadblock there. Like, you'd catch places where the swimsuit rode up a little bit and they'd get bright red, and I was just like, I don't understand. I think our sunscreen is bad. And I'm like, sweetie, it's because you're on the sand and the sand reflects up, and you're on the water and the water reflects up, and it's just like sunshine from every angle, which is awesome. But when you're going on your 3rd day of being by the water the whole time, just shells galore, and just a beautiful beach there in Myrtle Beach. It just got to be too much sun. So then we went and did a place called Wonderworks, which is kind of a sciencey type museum, and we did the boardwalk, and like laying on nails, a bed of nails, and it was good. It was a good time. Good time had by all.
We went for a few days to the Wisconsin Dells, and then we had the kids at Grandma's for a few days. Lucy loved it. Justin wanted to be home.
Yeah.
And it wasn't anything against Grandma. He just had in his mind that I'm going to have time to myself in my room doing my things that I want to do. And we messed with his agenda for his spring break.
Yeah, I could see that.
And so just having normal weekends here has been pretty nice. But he then also had his first camporee, where he went out and camped with the Boy Scouts without Mom in a tent few doors down. So
cool.
That was very neat, but super cold this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
So he... we were worried about him, but he seemed to be all right. And it was kind of, I don't know, dredging. I don't know. He wasn't dredging, but, he was walking back from camp, and then he saw us, and he was like, hey, I get to go home. And started running. And then we had to wait for his stuff to get unloaded from the pack. Has a big trailer. Yes, trailer. And so he got to wait for his stuff to come out of the trailer, and then we headed home, and he was excited for the warm car, and and then I didn't really see him after we got home, because he was like, I'm gonna go do this and this. First thing he did was take a hot shower. So
it's a good thing to do.
Got his priorities straight there.
Yes.
But yeah, that was fun, and I got some bikes online and had the pleasure of trying to assemble them myself.
Oh, wow.
Wasn't too bad. I did have to watch some YouTube channel stuff on brakes because I was not sure how to get them to actually squeeze and hold the tire because they weren't quite assembled enough for that to just work when you put it all together. So just a YouTube video later and some minor adjustments, and it seemed like it was working.
To live in an era where stuff like that is available. It used to be, you know, that you'd have to know somebody. That
well, I'm sure we would have been trying to bribe your husband to come over if we hadn't figured it out.
He's a pretty easy bribe.
Yeah. Some beer.
Yep, a trip to LTS, and he would have been set.
Yeah, but figured it out enough that I think I'm confident in what we've done, and I just need to like go through it again and tighten everything.
Cool.
And I can build the second one. I've only built one so far.
Yeah. There's a lot of birthdays going on in our house as well. So Dexter just had his 8th birthday, and Jeremy's is this week. He on Friday is going to go see Harmar Superstar. But I had that weekend blocked off for the photo shoot for the book, and so I didn't get a ticket. Nor did I understand that he wanted me to actually attend the concert with him. I just thought he was like, oh man, I'm going to have to find somebody to watch the kids while you're not here on that night. But no, he actually wanted me to attend. He's a good guy. So yeah, I'm going to have to either try to show up at the door and see if they have any tickets for sale or...
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yes, the book, Mini-sode 52, that has been gestating for the last year, the C-section has been scheduled. So Gail Zucker's coming a week from tomorrow is when we're going to do the photo shoot.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. So just imagine the craziness of trying to live just, life in general, and then add in on that, trying to line up models and stylists and samples, knit my samples. I didn't plan well enough ahead to be like, oh, I'm going to ship all of this out for sample knitting. Plus, I'm a little bit of a control freak, so I'm happy that my samples are done. I have a lot of knitting that I cannot show you, but you will see shortly, hopefully in short order and with fantastic photos, because I have no doubt that Gail will have wonderful photography. I was trying to take pictures to send for styling stuff, and then I realized that I'm sending somebody who takes phenomenal pictures, pictures of me wearing a sweater in my dirty bathroom mirror. I'm like, okay, yeah, something's excuse the subpar photos here. But yeah, super excited about it. It's one of those things where, at the end of any good gestation, pregnancy, it becomes a little more work than you probably knew before you started the whole process of birthing a child or birthing a book. But we're nearing the end line, so that's fantastic.
Awesome.
Yes, and happy birthday to my folks. They don't watch the podcast, but we are looking at a fairly large pirate ship behind the camera that Dexter got a building set for, and I got Jeremy a Nintendo Switch for his birthday, and since it's been kind of a bad weather weekend, cold and windy, and it was supposed to rain yesterday and today, but it hasn't yet. I gave it to him early. Plus, I'm a really bad keeper of my own secrets.
Yes.
Other people's secrets I can keep, but if I'm going to spoil a secret, it will be mine own. What else? That made me think of something. Oh, and then we've been meeting about ZK, and that's another baby that's going to be birthed.
We hope
coming
so.
Up. Yep. So excited about that, and excited about all of the KAL excitement that's been going on out there. And then, so you can't see a lot of the knitting that I've done, but you'll see a lot of the purchasing I've done. Yeah. Just rest assured, I have been knitting, maybe not enough to offset all of it that's coming in, but quite a bit. At least 2 sweaters quantities, several fingering weight.
I don't think that I have been offsetting what I bought, but I got into a purchasing mood, and once you get into a mood, it's really hard to put on the brakes. Right?
It is, yeah. Yeah. Although I'm not a big fan of the new Etsy shopping cart, where if you put things in your cart, it wants you to buy it all in one, even though it's from individual shops.
Okay.
Yeah. I keep on finding myself having to either like delete things out of the cart or save for later so that I can just buy from the one shop, because that was kind of my, for lack of a better terminology, like my Pinterest board, right? Like, oh, I like this from this shop, and maybe I'll visit that shop later. And it almost seems like, I mean, they do have a concept of favorites, right, that you can go out to, but almost seems like they need to have it like a temp cart or something that you can move things into your permanent cart to purchase if they're going to lump it all together like that. Because I was like, the other day, I ordered some more lavender loom because I really liked her poolside, it's not poolside margarita, it's poolside something, martini? Poolside martini.
The last time I went out there was nothing in the shop. So
it's a very beautiful green, and I'll have it to show maybe next month when we record. But I was like, oh my goodness, she must have increased her rates in her shop. And then I was like, oh, it's because I have every other shop's thing included in that total. So rest assured, she still has great prices. Anyway, all of that to say, we've got that, and we've got some giveaways here to talk about.
Oh, okay.
So the gradient from Diabolical, I didn't even know this, but I mean, I guess it's implicit in the name. Define Grello. You were saying it kind of looked like a gray yellow, and or not a gray yellow. You thought it was a
green yellow.
Green yellow, and I thought it was a gray yellow. Well, then we came up with the prompt of people coming up with new gradient names or just color coordination that they liked. And I guess that was implicit in the creation of this, was that a discussion with somebody. I'm thinking it was her husband. I'm sorry that if I'm misquoting you, about what does Grello mean. Is it green yellow or is it gray yellow? Did you have any favorites out there? I'm kind of putting you on the spot.
No.
I liked the one, and Diabolical liked it as well, Grumpkin, which was gray and pumpkin, so like a gray orange. And I also liked Shayna had Gravy, which is gray and navy. And I do like the gravy color combo as well. And now every time I see gravy anywhere, I think gray navy. So thank you, Shayna, for that. But favorites aside, random number generator 2 through 128 chose number 80.
Okay.
And that is T. Lynn CSSL. So I'm guessing that's some portion of her name because it's Terry, so it's probably Terry Lynn, and then something with her last name with vowels removed, maybe. Or maybe she's like, she really likes the HTML CSS. Who knows? Terry, you'll have to let us know behind your name and contact me, and I shall send out this gradient, this Grello gradient to you. And then, as I mentioned, the self-striping KAL, I drew for that. That is the Camel City Dye Works, and Troll in the Dungeon. I believe it's a Harry Potter inspired colorway. I keep on meaning to write it down because she said, oh, I must have forgotten to put it on the thing. But this is her BFL base, and I've got a lot of her BFL base that has since come into my home, and I have meticulously added into my bag of, I will integrate that into the stash after we podcast about it.
Yeah.
So I drew two, this yarn or one of my patterns from my pattern store. And that was 2 through 410. And the winners there were 212 and 31. So if you're 212, that is Anita T. Hi, Anita. And she had a Neely's Knit Wicked Witch that she did with a Fishless Lips Kiss heel. It was very fun, kind of the black and white and red toes, like the Wicked Witch. And then number 31 is Stacy, and that is Cadin 13, Kadinh 13. And she had Desert Vista Dye Works with the Flintstones. Yeah. Which was kind of, yeah, you'd have to go out and look at both of them. They're very striking socks. But contact me and I shall ship off either the yarn if you choose it or gift you the pattern. And yes, we will be doing all of the SKU drawings the next time we record. No promise on when that will be, but the SKU KAL is wrapping up, which is exciting. Have had, and just a handful of folks say that they really got the courage up to be able to knit them because we were doing it, and that made it all worthwhile for me. Like my heart grew 10 sizes that day.
Yeah, all that work in those little, helpful tips and tricks,
yeah,
videos.
Well, yeah, and then I, sometimes my numbers were a bit off, and I really appreciate the fact checkers and the folks that were like, hey, I did the skinnier one, how do I do this? And I was like, oh, that's right. But it was very much a work in progress, and I appreciated that. But yeah, it kind of gets to where, I've got that pattern memorized, so I don't reference the pattern anymore. And it's it was a exercise in tech support, and then also technical editing to make sure that I had all of those details in there right and clear and consistent. And then my SKU spree has ended.
Okay, you're done.
I wouldn't say that I'm done, right? But like I've got a different different pattern on.
The next cast on was not immediately a SKU. So.
Yes, well, it was all of the samples for the book, and now this yarn was too pretty not to knit.
It was a forced break, and then you were like, oh, I'm not into that as much as I was.
Yeah. Yeah, I still could have turned. This yarn was calling to me, and it didn't speak SKU to me. Okay. Like SKU. I've got lots of highly variegated SKUs over here, and I think it would have looked really nice. But I didn't. I thought this would be nicer, I guess. And that is the Administrati. You were going to mention. I don't know if we'll have time at the end. But that the ZK KAL is ending June
11th.
June 11th was the number I had in my head as well.
Okay. So June 11th, I believe that's a Sunday. If it's not a Sunday, then it's the Sunday closest to June 11th. So that will give me about a week and a half to go through, maybe 2 weeks, to go through all of the entries and kind of do my various winners for different categories and kind of pick and choose something.
That is a Sunday.
And what I plan on doing is kind of skimming what everybody's put into the KAL and then kind of choose different categories with Megan's input and then go back and find out who wins that category.
Okay.
And it'll probably be a clear winner, right? Like, oh, who used the most bonuses or who, just things like that. So I guess, you got a little hint of where my mind is going with that.
We had our first random prize, which was the cheerleader award, which was awesome with those fun scissors from the Silver Shed.
Yes, and I haven't contacted you all with a code because my mom had a small issue with the code. So again, if you would like the scissors in advance of Zombie Apocalypse, contact me. Make me accountable. Otherwise, we are very busy, and things like this will slip my mind. But you know who won. The 9 people were announced, and we will be getting those scissors to you. But it could be at my mom's booth during the Zombie Apocalypse, and some of you have already chosen that option, or maybe if my mom noticed, because she was paying attention, like, oh, that person ordered a bag, like, she might contact you and say, hey, what scissors do you want? And if you wanted to say, hey, I'm a winner of the contest and I picked these scissors, we could arrange to send them that way. If you wanted to kind of go to the shop, pick what you want, and then message my mom through the shop, I can just pay her back once she's gotten it shipped off. So
cool.
Again, the coupon code thing, it wasn't working. Something changed about how Etsy was doing coupon codes, and she had other things going on that she couldn't figure it out that day. So
Work in progress.
Work in progress. But again, if you want them in advance because maybe you got a cool little trip you're going on and you need those tiny scissors to take on the plane with you, let me know. We can get them shipped out. Toot sweet.
Mm-hmm. Like Maryland sheep and wool.
Yeah, I don't have scissors for that yet.
Do you need to borrow a pair from me?
No.
Okay.
I think that the ones that I have passed in the past.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's still okay.
Yeah.
That and I don't plan on carrying too much with me on the plane this time. I think I'm just going to travel light, check my bag.
Are you doing any smaller hops? Because when I flew into Chicago, I thought I was being really wise, and I just had a carry-on bag, and then I ended up having to gate check it. Because there's no overhead space in the small enough plane that I...
No, we actually are taking a direct flight. Yay. No chance of there being, like hop delay or something where we miss a plane. If we get on that plane and it takes off, it will land where we need to be. So I am, I think the thing behind it was like, okay, I have a suitcase that's kind of borderline where they might make me check it, so why not just bring the bigger suitcase? That's my thoughts. So I'm just going to bring the bigger suitcase and check it. What the heck? That, and I won't have to necessarily worry about lugging it through the airport.
You said you were going to check it, sorry. My mind went to about carrying it on for some reason, but anyway.
Oh, no. Going to travel light and check it.
Got it. Traveling light in my mind means that you don't check something. Like you take the really little bag, right? I guess, yeah. Sorry.
I guess in my mind it means that through the airport you just have your one bag with you.
Yep.
And you don't have to have like suitcases.
I mean, you don't want to be like Megan at the first Rhinebeck where I had like every piece of knitwear and a backpack that I was carrying with me because I was so paranoid about the...
Oh, yeah.
them check losing it.
I'm crossing my fingers and toes, and maybe I'll knock on some wood later. But
yeah, I'm sorry.
I have a feeling.
To jinx it.
Yeah, I have a feeling that my bags will make it to where they need to go, including home. So I'm not too worried about that. Now, if I have a precious purchase, it will probably be traveling in my carry-on on the way back. Yeah. But I think the things that are getting there, they've been with me long enough that it'll be okay. Mm-hmm. I might make them pay for them because I have a few nice pants that I'm going to be bringing.
Yeah.
But I am getting excited for it. I am only planning on bringing 2 things to knit. If I manage somehow to knit through those, because you always think like, oh, I'm going to get so much knitting done because it's a knitting thing, and it's like, no. If I get these 2 things done, I'll be super shocked. And if I do, and on the way home, I will have some sort of purchase that I can hand wind and put on some needles and do. Mm-hmm. But for now, I think I'm just going to bring 1.
I'm super excited for you.
2 things, socks and a shawl.
Hopefully the weather cooperates and you'll enjoy your time away.
Yes, my travel partner said, I bought a raincoat so it won't rain now. So that's like, okay, good job. And then if we both remember to bring our rain jackets and our umbrellas, it won't rain. Yep. Yep. I don't have a really small umbrella. I need to figure out, like maybe I'll buy like a super compact one, just in case we get caught in a downpour and I need like a little bit extra protection. But the coat should be fine. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm excited, but I don't have any grand plans on what to purchase. I did think about looking for that Hohi Locatelli wrap kit, like looking for 5 skeins that go together for that. And that starts after I get back, so that'd be awesome. It'd be perfect. But
says the woman that judged me about my Find My Fade, but...
Well, I already put together 5 for Josh's test knit.
Okay.
Out of my stash.
Okay.
And it's going to go into Josh's shawl. I had to restart it because of a calculation error, but it's released now, so I should be able to have all of the numbers correct. And then I didn't want to repurpose that yarn, but it took a long time to get 5 out of my stash that went together really well.
Yeah, no,
I agree. I was just like...
That's kind of the fun and the hard part. Yep. Like I'm right there with you. Like it was fun to like kind of toss my stash and feel like I was taking 5 whole skeins out of it. Right. But yeah, it was also hard.
I already did it once, and now I'm like, well, also my single skeins are pretty wild, right? Like Like, I don't.
You probably, if it was tame enough to be a sweater, you probably bought a sweater's quantity.
Exactly. So, I have bright orange, or maybe it was gifted to me, or that, a gray that kind of came in at some random time, but then, like, you're trying to place 5 of them together, and it's like, oof, an impossible challenge. And I also think a really large wrap like that, I would want it to be more neutral. I'm not into the brights as much. I want it to be more neutral. I saw one that was kind of gray, black, mustard, and then there was one speckle in there that wasn't crazy, and no brights in it, that I was like, oh, that combo seems cool. But again, it's kind of a thing that's going on right now, so it might be a lot of people who put together kits for that, and it might be a thing that I'm seeing everywhere that I want to buy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I felt pretty about actually knitting my Jill Draper from the first Rhinebeck that we went to.
Good.
Yeah. It's going to be in the book, I'm pretty sure. It's one of my samples.
Oh, so, that's right.
Yeah.
Pretty.
Oh, it's so pretty. And then Knitterotica on Instagram, I bought a couple of extra skeins from her because I wasn't going to have enough to finish it.
Well, thank you.
Yes. And thank goodness I think I looked and I'm like, this is my long shot. I contacted her on Ravelry. She bought it at the exact same Rhinebeck, it was October 20, whatever it was that we went. And I was like, And I contacted Jill and she was super nice. But basically, because it's from sheep to consumer, she doesn't have any more of that base to try to dye up the cobalt for me. So yeah, I totally lucked out. I told her that she got all of the good knitting karma that possibly could. She's never going to run out of yarn ever again. And yes, the knitter's blessing, I guess, I bestowed on her. May you never find a knot in your skein, and may it never be that a skein was skeined by a set of monkeys when you put it on the... Yes, she got all of the good knitting karma because she saved my day. I was able to finish it, and it was fantastico that it really blended well. Anyway.
I have some finished objects.
Okay, let's do that.
You have some too.
I do.
You said you didn't.
The ones that I really want to show, I can't show.
Oh, okay.
They weren't, and we haven't gone for a month, Amy. Yes. Okay, just yeah.
Well, you made it sound like nothing in this month,
yes,
right?
Sorry, that I could show. Yes,
it was all for the book.
It feels like that.
I got half a brain.
Half a brain. Had a brain.
Because sewing these things on is not pleasant.
Did it suck your soul?
It did. It really did. So, because there's a lot of plotting and planning, so I can mirror this to the other side so there won't be as much plotting and planning, but I also didn't make enough I-cord at the start. So, the density that I wanted the brain on the one side, I used more than I thought I would, so I still need to make some more I-cord, but I have the little tools, so it shouldn't be too much of a pain. But after getting half a brain done, I was done.
Yeah.
And
would you say that making that hat was a half-brained idea?
It was, yes. Sure.
Yes.
So when I do get it done, I will take a lot of festive pictures, and then it'll go to its original intended target.
Okay.
She took the stress off of me because she said, oh, I just thought it was a really fun idea. If it's causing you stress, I don't want you to make it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, well, now that the pressure's off, when I finish it, she'll get the silly brain hat.
Cool.
And she'll appreciate it, and she'll wear it somewhere.
Yeah, good Halloween hat, for sure.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Somebody invites you to a Halloween party?
Boom.
I'm all set.
Brain hat.
So, but yeah, and she thought red was a fun color for a brain, even though they wouldn't be red. But
the blood vessels would be filled there.
Yeah. But, yeah, the brain. And then I finished my socks for the April third annual Desert Vista Dye Works sock club.
Is that a skip rib at the top?
Yeah, I decided that I needed something fun at the top, and I went ahead and did a skip rib. But I just made it rib, so 2 skip and 2 pearl all the way down. So I don't have, some of the skip rib will have like a...
It alternates.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I just...
Solid columns?
Solid columns, and they, every time, right? Like,
it
wasn't...
Yep.
I don't know. It was a little bit more skipping than traditionally there would be.
Skiptastic.
Yes, it's very skiptastic. But it kept me engaged through the end of these socks. It took me longer to finish these than it had for any of the other ones that I've knit. So I don't know what it was about them. I think I got gangbusters and then I took a week off and then I had to really go gangbusters.
Were they top down or toe up?
Toe up.
Okay. And then you must have gotten bored at the top and to integrate the texture, or you just wanted it to be kind of stretchy up there?
It was boredom.
Yeah.
And I started that and I did that and then I'm like, wow, these are really long and this is going to take a long time. And so I had to fight through to get to the heel. And then once I got to the heel, it was just power through, right? Like, oh, I can get through these. This is okay. And then, oh, okay, 2 more. Stripe. But I don't know if, I don't know how you did 1 a week for a year. So 1 a month is like, I'm starting to lose my mojo on the 1 a month.
Yeah.
And then I made Doug. This is Doug. He might have been a Kevin, he might have been a Norbert, but Doug is his name. So Doug is made out of some 716 purple. The Great Master Bader is the name of the colorway. And then everything else is kind of leftovers from our ZK kits stuff. And I thought he needed to be super colorful, so I made sure that everything was a different color. And yeah, so Doug will be traveling with me to Maryland Sheep and Wool, and he'll be hanging out.
Is he done accessorizing?
He might get a bag from my mom.
Okay.
So he might have a silver shed bag, crossbody bag, but I'm not sure.
Love his hat.
Yeah, took me a while to get that done correctly, so I can see why a lot of people, a pattern would have been nice. Right? Just trying to make it up as I get along. I had to redo it several times just to get it to fit, right? Like I put it on him and then I'd start to finish it and I'd be like, oh, well now it doesn't quite fit. Like it won't stay on his little head. It keeps slipping off. So now I've got it so that it actually stays on his head. Cover his eyeballs a little bit.
Well, I hope Doug has a good time.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. I just, he's already hung out at the school carnival and had some paper money, y'all.
Raining.
Yep. So Doug is super cute. We love Doug. Doug will travel with Karen and I'm sure he'll get into some great adventures.
Excellent.
And it's hard to believe that I will be flying this Thursday. So.
My Confetti the cat would, if it were a girl, would have loaned him a Hito Fude if he wanted, but
okay.
I don't know.
You don't know if he wants the Hito Fude.
Yeah.
No, he might be smaller. Yeah. Can't remember the size of your cat.
I think he might be bigger.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. The Hito Fude is pretty forgiving, even little ones.
Okay.
We could go grab it and try it on.
Sure. Don't know if he needs a Hito Fude.
No. I don't know that he does either, because he's a boy. But I'm not judging. I'm just I'm going to use these sock blockers, which we'll be reviewing. But I'll put my sock on it just for grins and giggles. Although the SKUs I think are more visually stunning, like kind of side by side like this. They do look nice on a sock blocker as well. But this was the poolside BFL base from Nomadic Yarns that I had been kind of hoarding in my stash, and I told myself, you know what, you should probably knit that. And I was glad I did, because I really needed the bright colors at the time. And then I went to South Carolina and was all bright and summery and happy. But really like that base, really like the colors. This green, this chartreusey green is one that makes my heart sing. And then while I was there, I cast on a variegated pear, which this is the Into the World in the radioactive colorway. And I think I have 2 of her radioactives, and they're 2 different techniques. So this was like a kettle something dyed, and I have another one because these colors have called to me multiple times that looks significantly different but has the same composite colors in it, which is kind of fun. So that was another pair of SKUs, and they just went along with me in all the places. I had my little bag here that I carried around with me everywhere. I think it's now got where it got dropped when we were at the pirate show. So we went to a pirate show and we were running out at the end because it was raining outside, and it got dropped. But you know, it's all stories that they tell. So yeah, very pretty. I like it. I like it. I like it. And then, so lots of socks, lots of purse knitting that kind of accompanies me to sucker projects / places where I couldn't take the big things that I was sample knitting on. This is Silly Me by Sun Valley Fibers, and I also cast these on in South Carolina, and kind of had a fun discovery at that Wonderworks that they look super cool in a black light. So I had like the one side where I was sitting and eating shrimp and grits, where I took a picture of it, and then I had the other where I looked down and I was like, oh wow, this is the perfect opportunity to, and I have never tried to take a picture of something in a black light before, but it shows up pretty well. Yeah, the camera deals well with black light. So yes, and these are kind of similar in it's a little more greeny green than the chartreuse here, but the orange and purple, I think the thing that I like the most about this colorway, this Silly Me colorway, is that there is no pink in it. It's just green and purple and orange. And so, but there's places where you look at it and it's just the proximity to another color that makes it look pink, which is super cool to me because I like it when things mess with your mind. And I really like how they streaked and pooled. So you kind of get like mini striping sections in there. And then I really buckled down. Once I got back from South Carolina, I was a one-woman sample knitting machine for the book, but then recently had gotten to a place where I was like, okay, well, I should probably cast some socks on for Miss Ellie. So this is BU Fibers in the Skull Candy, I think it's Skull Candy colorway. And this is Emerald City, which was a leftover from one of my sample knits in Leading Men Fiber Arts. And she absolutely loves the heels and toes. And I absolutely love the heels and toes too. I think it really adds a fun pop. And I haven't done it enough, but now that I've got like these little extra, I was just telling somebody that when I first learned about knitting socks, somebody told me that I should knit them toe up because then you would know that you wouldn't run out of yarn and not be able to finish your socks. I think it was somebody that was knitting a sport weight pair. Maybe. It may have been Susan because I think she's been knitting. Yeah, she has been knitting. Anyway, I was telling somebody, can't remember all of the conversations I've ever had. And little did I know at that time, I wasn't experienced enough knitter. I think it was Sarah that had told me that she always knit them 2 at a time, toe up, because she didn't want to run out of yarn, and she never wanted to get second sock syndrome. And the 2 at a time didn't stick with me, but the doing it toe up did. And little did I know at that time that I'm never going to run, not for my size foot, unless it's a super beefy yarn or super skinny skein, right? Like not the 400 plus yard skeins that you buy nowadays. Right. So yeah, most of the time I have enough to knit them for Ellie. And I looked down, and my little foot that I had been using to gauge where to put the heel in for her was from April of last year. And
oh, you're like, uh-oh.
Yeah. So I was like, I've been making the socks longer for her, and so I got out a piece of cardboard and I traced her foot, and I held it up, and her foot has gotten slightly wider, so there's less, there's more stretch this way, so it's not able to get as long, but her foot is the same length.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I was like,
interesting.
and then I played a really mean joke on her. She was like, Mom, I'm this littlest, shrimpiest kid in my class. I'm like, Ellie, your birthday's in July. All of them are 10 already, and you're the youngest in your class. No, I'm not, but I'm just not growing. And I was like, Ellie, it's all of that cheese you've been eating. Because she goes to the store and will pick out expensive cheese, and we'll eat it like in a day or two. Like, she just is mowing down on the cheese. And I can remember a point in my life where cheese was a big part of my diet. And she was like, what? Cheese stunts your growth, Mom? How have you been letting me eat all of this? And I was like, Ellie, I didn't realize how much you're eating. But then, yeah. Then she Googled it. Gosh, can't even pull a joke on your kids anymore without them Googling it. And she's like, Mom, that's not a thing. I was like, okay, it's not. But you should slow down on the cheese, because it'd be nice to be able to go to the bathroom. I don't know if you're having any issues with that, but if I ate that much cheese, I would have that problem. So anyway, side story, all about feet growing, and yeah, so a little wider so that she's using more of the stretch width-wise, and so that's meaning that I have to make them longer.
I have handed pairs of socks down to my kids that I have noticed, either they shrank a little bit, or I didn't knit them properly at the time that I knit them, and they're a little bit short for me, like by about a ½ an inch, and the kids are wearing them, and they're fitting just fine. So I'm like, oh gosh, that's scary.
Yeah.
Like, just a ½ an inch off and they can wear my socks.
Yeah.
So.
And she's been, I haven't been on the knitting, or it used to be every weekend I have a special little bin where they put the socks in, and I would do it. And I think I've been blocking my own samples and just busy in general. And so she's been like, Mom, I'm running out of socks. So yeah, and then she's been putting holes in said socks, which I have darned, and then they still have holes. So yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about works in progress so we don't run out of time.
Okay.
For purchases.
I will only show 2 then.
Are they the 2 you're bringing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have, this is a skein from Camel City.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
And I am making the Close to You shawl. Mm-hmm. So I don't remember the colorway name for this one, but it's very fun. It's green and white and
lends itself well to the
bright
pattern.
Pinky colors. And I thought about this pattern right away when I skeined it up. So I'm going to bring this, and hopefully I'll get through I think it's 19 whatevers, and then cast off, and that'll be a done object. Finished.
You could wear it.
And then the other thing I'm bringing is going to be my May Desert Vista Dye Works. I can't start it until tomorrow or midnight if I chose, but I'm not going to be up at midnight. I need some sleep. So
I will.
But this one is Llama Llama pajamas. Zambadi pajamas. Oh my gosh. I need to go grab that. Anyway, I know it's llama pajamas, and it's a Zambadi colorway. So it's got the speckles in between. And
maybe it's Llama Llama zombie pajamas? Because in the book it says Llama Llama red pajama.
Oh yeah, maybe. So for me right now, close enough. It's got mostly teals, but a bunch of peach and white, and I think it's going to be gorgeous. And it's a 2-stripe, I believe. So it's going to be fun where I can just go, ooh, teal, 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 like to keep me going. And that'll be exciting. I guess I have one more because I started for Maryland Sheep and Wool, Mary Jane. And I was going gangbusters on it, and then decided that I was not going to finish that. I was going to do a monster instead. So I think that if I had powered through and worked on it this weekend, I might have made it. By the time Maryland Sheep, worked on it the 2 days prior and wore it, because it's most of the way done. but I'm enjoying knitting on it. I just, I don't know, I got to the point. It's Mary Jane.
Oh, sorry.
Rachel Bishop and Sarah Johnson of Zamfir Style. I bought the pattern from them a million years ago.
I've always pronounced that Zephyr.
Oh, Zephyr Style? That makes right.
Okay.
That much more sense. Zephyr.
I don't pronounce things right often, but...
No, that one was correct.
Okay.
I looked at it and went, that makes sense.
It's pretty.
So, yes, it's a hempathy, and it's straight sides, and it's poofy sleeves, and it's short sleeves. But I only have 3 more balls left, so this is 2, and I have 3, so there's not much left on the sleeves. I think I'm going to have to make them shorter than designed, and hopefully have enough length.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a feeling after I get through the second ball, I'm going to do the sleeves, and then finish the bottom after the sleeves are done.
Maybe a ZK?
Yeah, could be. Top. A retreat wear? Could be. But I did notice that I do have a lot of summer gear knits. Like, it's not like I don't.
Yeah, you really get on a kick when it gets... I mean, I feel like your knits are more timely, more, you know, like you want to be knitting summer tops when it's summer out.
Yes. So that means they get done at the end of summer. I don't get to wear them until the next year, but, you know.
Yep. As long as it's not like a style that's gone out of style.
Oh yeah, typically I make things for my body type, and that my body type doesn't change much. So hopefully, whether it's in style or not is not here nor there, because it suits my body. But yeah, that was, you know, like I'm gonna knit a sweater for the thing, and then like got all excited to finish the sweater, and then everybody woke me up to the fact that, hey, Maryland's gonna be hot. Or rainy, but hot, most likely. You're not gonna want to wear a sweater at all. So they're all suggesting, knit the lightest one, whatever the lightest one is, whatever the lightest one is. Like, oh, why don't I just make a summer top?
Yeah.
You know? And so I cast on right away thinking, summer top, that's gonna be it. And I don't think I lost mojo on it necessarily, but I did have to finish the zombie socks, or the Desert Vista Dye Work socks, in advance of March or May anyway. So it's like, oh, how do I balance all of this? Nope, gonna make Doug. That's how I solved that problem. Gonna make Doug. Stuffies are very quick for me. Just a couple days, and had fun knitting his accessories, and probably could have got a lot more actual knitting done, because I had a lot of like analysis on how to make his hat, but definitely was fun to get Doug done. And now Doug will be my travel companion, and I can take pictures of Doug with people or me or whatever.
Cool.
Go Doug.
Yes. You
have a whip?
I do. I have lots of things that are needle adjacent, but they're all waiting on the photo shoot and the blocking and the sample knitting, and lots of things got washed yesterday. I ran out of my Bijou Basin Ranch what is soap? Yeah, what is that called? Allure. Yes. So I'm gonna have to put a allure order in. But and then
they're gonna be there.
Yeah, but that doesn't seem like something you'd want to take in a plane or pack. Make sure that it doesn't get in your suitcase. I don't want to say explode.
Right.
I'll get you flagged by the...
Yeah, what's this giant tub of stuff? I was thinking about, like, we in Minnesota don't pay sales tax on yarn. And that's going to be a sticker shock moment for me, I think, when going to Maryland Sheep and Wool. Is that I'll try to buy a skein of yarn, and it'll be, like, above the sticker price. But
Jeremy was
seeing stuff in person will be.
Jeremy was just lamenting the other day why more people don't, like, some restaurants, their prices are just what it is after tax, right? Like, why don't we just label things as what they are after tax? And then you don't have that sticker shock, I guess.
Problem is tax codes change, and then you have to reprint menus.
Yep.
I mean, you have to reprint menus when you want to change the price of
I
something.
think he was
anyway,
noticing it from like a food stand standpoint.
okay.
Like, you know that if you hand him a 5 spot,
Gotcha.
that's how much the
like
thing
a food
is.
truck.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
So if you were doing like a show and you just had a sign that had all of the prices on it, then that could already include tax, because then you could update them.
Right, or, you know, some people have show prices versus their online prices, and it's like, oh, okay, we'll have that show price incorporate whatever tax you have in that state. And
so I don't know whether or not the camera will do a great job with showing this colorway off, but it's by Lavender Loon, which I've kind of, her photography recently or something about, you know, her dye sense or something has really like, I'm just like, every time she posts, like, I want that, but I just ordered something, and but now I want that. Just have an update tonight that I'm like, stay away, Megan. But it's a very fun, it's called Electric Zebra, and this is her 80/20 Superwash. Just really love the black speckle mixed in with some peaches and pinks and bright pinks and orange, and it's just a super fun colorway. Pretend you can't see the patterning. I don't think that these are going to be a sample for the shoot, but it is a pattern that will be in the book. So if you've been admiring any of the patterning as I'm knitting it here, you didn't see it, just ignore it. I just didn't have anything else to knit. I thought it might be a little bit too busy, but I think this pattern might be kind of like the monkey.
Right.
It's just, it's okay.
Go with the flow.
It's okay with whatever. I mean, I did it up in Oh Christmas Tree, and you did something that was kind of busy as well, and it does well. I mean, when you're first doing it, you have that, I had the doubt creep in. I was like, oh, this isn't going to handle it well. And I set it aside to not be a sample for the book, but now I'm thinking like, oh.
Did I make a hat? Where is that hat? Did I give that hat away? Where is that hat?
You didn't give me that. It's your hat.
Where is my hat?
But yeah, that's my work in progress that is fit to be shown.
Awesome.
In addition to a book that's being written.
Mine.
Pictures taken. No. So yes, I also have, if I can, I'll follow that up, that yarn speakage about the other stuff that I got from her, with the promise that I've got more coming, and please just bear with me. This is 100% superwash. And so I talked myself into, she had 3 skeins. It's not a base that I would normally make socks out of, so I'm going to make a garment out of it. So I bought 3 skeins of it. It's Posh Narwhal. I just, yeah, the pops of purple and yellow and blue and green and pink, they got me. They gots me. They gots me. And then this one is Huckleberry Lemonade. Yes, I really liked the name. I kind of like the gray, grello, yellow that's going on. And then, yeah, kind of like a huckleberry mixed in there with it. So, yep. So pretty. So pretty. And this is her 80/20 base as well, which I think I saw on Instagram she's naming. She's naming the bases now.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yes. But very fun colors.
We'll get there.
Loving the colors. Loving the colors. Do you want me to just
I was going to say you should stripe those leftovers, that huckleberry and that one.
Oh yeah, they would go good together.
Really cool.
Could be a coordinating heel and toe. If we had recorded before I cast on the socks, I could have made like a shawl out of it, right? Like a 2-color shawl. I bought these while I was in South Carolina, so I was in a very vacation-y, we're spending money kind of mode, and I saw that Knitterly Things has a new superwash merino base. So her first base was kind of a high twist 100% superwash, which I have to knit up on zeros because I ruined socks, and I still ruined the pair. I just showed that pair when we were talking about when we did the Marry Kiss Kill, maybe the blue color with gray. It's almost like something poked through my shoe, because when I put them on, it was fine, and then when I took them off at the end of the day, either a weak part in the shoe or something poked through. Like, it was just a huge, like, out of nowhere hole. Like, normally you can kind of see like a strand starting to get kind of thin. made me sad. So in addition to Ellie's darning, I've got my own darning to do. But this is, her other base is kind of beefier, and it's not as high twist that's an 80-20 with nylon. And so she's got yet another. This is an 80-20 Superwash Merino 230 yards. This is Poetry in Motion. Self-striping. It's her best for self-striping. Tomorrowland is the one that wants to jump on the needles immediately. That
very much so.
Yeah, that kind of emerald color with the black and the purples. Making me kind of starry-eyed, and then lightning in a bottle. So, and I posted these out on Instagram if you want to see a closer picture of them. I'm interested. I'll report back. Don't you worry. To try out the new base. So, super excited about that one. I got a birthday present from Miss Amber. She pulled these. She was working YarnCon with Leading Men Fiber Arts, and grabbed these. These are a director's interpretation, which is kind of their one-of-a-kind skeins, and it's their dramaturg base, so DK. And I'm thinking like a fun-ish cowl with the 500 yards that I've got here. A substantial something, because they will not be separated. They will be together. So thank you to Miss Amber and to the wonderful guys at Leading Men Fiber Arts for this gorgeousness. And then when I came back, I had an inbox or a mailbox full of stuff in addition to my my vacation purchases. So I have to say my overall impression of LYS's down south is they're very different than here. They not hardly any sock yarn, so I was kind of getting concerned because I was running out of the sock yarn that I had packed, and I was like, oh, I'll grab a souvenir skein, and there wasn't a whole lot of sock yarn, which kind of makes sense. I mean, if you're down south, I don't know how many knit socks you wear. Lots of linens, which you'll see, and then the one shop that I found was going out of business, which kind of made me sad, but I mean, they had a great sale, so that I took advantage of that, but it made me sad. But they had a lot of linen, not what you would think of as far as if you went to an LYS up here, I guess. I didn't see a lot of Madeline Tosches or Malabrigos or really many other than like this Cassell or you know, the more the less indie dyed stuff. Like I asked specifically if there was any indie dyers that they had on the shelves in the two shops that I went to, and didn't really see anything. So, but this, but Camel City is out of North Carolina, which I was in briefly, and I got her Candy Rainbow, which if I was going to put it in rainbow order, I just thought it was really, it's going to be really nice to do heels and toes with these, or grab two skeins because they're kind of in the same kind of pastel-y, like these two wanted to be together for me. I think they were originally for the Find My Fade, and I will not be finding a fade again. The fade is lost for me. Although she does have that top now. That's very pretty. But yes, I just wanted them all, and so I said, dye those up in your BFL, and she sent me the correct pronunciation. And it's gone. I think I said Bethabara, and I think she said the emphasis was on a different syllable. Or Southern drawl turned it into something different. I could look on Instagram and see what the pronunciation is, but you guys don't want to wait for that. So that's just the Candy Rainbow. I think what got me, so this, I can say them. The names are very fun too. Grape Soda, Cherry Fizz, Circus Peanut, which I thought was very apt. And me, as kids, I would go, well, even in high school, my sister and I would go get Circus Peanuts, and you can't eat more than like 2 or 3 of those.
I hate them.
Lemon Drop, but for some reason we wanted to get them. Creamy Mint, Blue Raspberry, and Silver Fox.
My husband buys them. He likes them.
Can he eat more than one?
My daughter likes them. Maybe not 1 or 2 in a given moment, no. But I don't even bother to look at eating one of them. So
I'll be knitting some summer tops, thanks to like a 50-60% off. It took up a pretty big portion portion of my, like this isn't an insubstantial bag to try to fit into my carry-on. But I showed some restraint. I really liked this green. This is Classic Elite Yarns Cricket, which is cotton and linen, and I liked the marl on it. I got, yeah, 9 skeins of it, which it's a DK weight, I think. But the shop was, that wasn't the Quarter at Oleander. I don't think that was the name of the shop. Anyway, it's out of business now, so or close there too. And then I also got some Rowan Pure Life. I think both of these are discontinued. Maybe they've renamed the base or whatever. It's silk, recycled cotton, and recycled viscose. So I got kind of a fun speckly gray with the fun, oh yeah, the quarter stitch. That was what it was. I guess it wasn't too sad of an occasion. She had gotten a job that made it so that she was life decision to not be an LYS owner. Got to talk to them a little bit. They had a nice little group in there that offered me food and talked to me about the shop. But yeah, I thought it would be a fun stripe of some sort, a nice little amalgam, and I got these 2 sweater quantities for quite a deal. So, and it's next time when I use this, I will remember it's from South Carolina, and it's like I brought home a piece of South Carolina.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's
it. Oh, well, I did. Yeah, it got integrated into the stash already. I got the huge DK weight skeins that I posted a picture out on Instagram from Simply Sockyarn, Post Yarn. Yeah, huge, ginormous. 3 sweater quantities, 3 more sweater quantities went into the stash. They're very bright and coordinated well.
So I think one of my skeins fell.
Oh no. It wants to become it wants to be part of my family.
Yeah. So what started the the Band-Aid or whatever you want to call it coming off on Dana Unwind Yarn Company Kokomo colorway. I forget what the occasion was, but I think that there was a little bit of a discount that kind of paid for my shipping. So it was like, oh, well, that sounds lovely, and in my cart, and out it went. It's the Journey sock, and yeah, Kokomo. I really like how those colors play together.
Very pretty.
Might not assume that they would play together. You see some pastels, kind of with some hard fall-like colors in there too. Just really pretty.
Fun color combo.
Yeah, so I like that one. And then another thing that came along that was new to me, I saw somebody on Instagram had bought from this purveyor, and I can't remember who it was, but
you clicked through.
I did. I clicked through. It's Yarn Cafe Creations out of Utah. And I believe that this skein of yarn, as lovely as it was just like $20. And it's 75 merino, 25% nylon. And her name is Christy.
So a pretty beefy base.
Yeah.
Soft.
Yeah, it's still like 437 yards. She has it kind of wound loosely.
Got it.
Right? Hanged loosely. But I really liked the idea of this navy with this pops of color for that Ermagerd hat. And when I saw it, I was like, oh, I need to remember that. And then I was like, well, I'm not going to remember that. It's a click-through on Instagram. So I just bought it, especially with the price. It was a really good price. Cool. I'll say the name again. Yarn Cafe Creations. She's out on Etsy. Yep. And that's Christy. The colorway is Calgary. It related. Okay, then 716 Knit had a sale. I don't remember what the % off was or what the occasion was, but it was like yes, please. So I went out there to see. It might have been with her moving and getting her studio together. So I had to have her Pride, which is the sport weight base. So I made Doug out of the purple that I bought, and I still have quite a bit of that left. And then I wasn't sure. I thought I might want to make a monster out of this one as well. It's speckly and cute and a light color, so I can put lots of accessories with this color, and excited. But then the third one that had to fall in my cart was 20% cooler. I really liked the pops of color, and I think that this will be some sort of small accessory. Hat, mittens, socks, I don't know. It's a sport weight base. Very, very happy with them. Excited to knit them up at some point. And then I, for some reason, Eat, Sleep, Knit got on my radar with something that they were doing.
The Persian Dreams Cave?
Yeah. But I don't know like why I needed to put together a cart and check out, because I was just so excited to do so. Maybe they were giving their 10K clubbers some sort of benefit. I can't remember. But it was something where I was like, okay, I'm going to do that. And I have been eyeballing this Folsom from Northbound Knitting for a long time. Flotsam, sorry.
Flotsam, Jetsam. Makes me think of the two eels in Little Mermaid.
So I just thought it looked very patina, you know, like copper turning to very patina. And I thought, oh, I should get a sweater's quantity, and then I thought, no, I don't know if that's going to jive and be a sweater in my mind. But I thought it could be an amazing shawl. So I bought 2 skeins of that so that I could make some sort of one, you know, not this multicolor business, just a one color shawl. I was thinking something that has some sort of fun texture or patterning in it. That one that has like the short rowing and they put like a lace in the middle, that one kind of maybe, but haven't picked it out yet. But I know that I kept eyeballing it and nobody was really buying it, so it wasn't like a rush, but I was like, I need that in my life. Still in love with it. It's different in person than it was on the screen, but I still love it. And then Nerd Girl had to hop in my cart, because why not? Because
reasons.
Because reasons, small. This is another sport weight, so I'm in a sport weight kick, and this is LOL What.
LOL what?
LOLWUT. And there's a hashtag on there too. That's part of the name, y'all. Love how fun this is. Could see it being socks. Quick, simple, knit up those socks. To the point where I might have to make a sport weight sock pattern just so I have a reason to go through all my sport weight yarn and knit several times.
I've been known to do the exact same thing. Like when I was designing Banner Day, I picked out a whole bunch of Banner Day skeins and bought them. And when I was making seamless lomas, I bought a whole bunch of DK weight. And they're all like, you know, together like a little time capsule in my stash. Like, remember when you were going to knit all those things? Yeah, I get on kicks too. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I'm on a sport weight kick, but in order to use them up, I'm like, I gotta do something. This is terrible.
I got to do something.
Okay. Well, that was it for my enabling.
Okay.
Did we have anything else?
I think we're actually gonna do a mini-sode with our 2, so maybe a preview here with the 2 things that we have to review and give away. I'm super excited about them both. So we have Framework, which is 10 architectural knits by Noragon, and that is being sold by Quince & Co. because their beautiful linen yarns are featured. And then the fabulous JD Craft shop sent us both sock blockers. So this is my first matching pair, and I'm not going to lie, I'm super excited about the fact I've got 2 that match. And I kind of like that there's like cutouts, because in my mind then things would actually dry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the other ones are fun. I've got one from the Loopy U that's got a little hole up at the top, so like you could hang it if you wanted to, but the edges are getting kind of, from where they've been dropped and or been wet, gotten frayed, right? So the fact that these are utilitarian, I loves it. Loves it. Anyway, all of that to say, we will be, we're going to record a mini-sode, and the Mini-sodens mini-sodes about that, because we had a lot more to talk about than we thought. When he was like, do you think we should record? We probably should record, like, no fair weather friend, but meant in the opposite way.
Right.
Because normally a fair weather friend is one that's only your friend when the weather's nice, and we were the opposite. We were like, the weather's nice, we can't podcast right now. We have to record. And I was like, but I don't have anything to talk about. Like, I can't show any of that. I'm so excited about the things that I've knit. You guys, it's so, like, yeah, but I can't show it. We got to get pictures, we got to get the book published, and then I can send it, I can show them. I'll sit here.
The baby is almost out.
Will it be a boy? Will it be a girl? Will it be pretty? Will it be ugly?
Well, we know it'll be pretty. We just need the...
Because every baby is beautiful in its own way, right?
Well,
that, and I'm pretty sure I'm not too far off on my, like, I think it's pretty. I'm not so delusional, right? I'm not. He's like, I don't know.
You're gonna have
you haven't seen them.
Beautiful photos taken.
Yes, we will.
It's gonna be lovely.
Self-doubt always creeps in. I mean, it's getting to where, like, another analogy to throw in here, like you're studying for finals, and you get to the point where you can't cram any more in your head, and you're just like, the elation of, like, I hope I get an A. Like, we hope we get an A with the book. Okay, gotcha. Super, super excited about it. But I didn't even realize I had those socks other than Ellie's to really show, because I had knit them so long ago. They were just in the pile. Like, I started a little pile. Anyway, all of that to say, mini-sode coming up. ZK, we've got 5K signups are still ongoing. Amy has the very fun excursion that has been filled. And people are out stating intentions to be on any sort of backup list. We continue to have a very anomalous year. That's a word, right? Anomaly-filled year of that nobody has really canceled. And so we've got a few here and there, but we've had no movement on the wait list. So my regards to anybody that got their name on there, day 1 or day 2 of that wait list, and we're hopeful that they would be able to come. Might end up being very last minute, but I think we may have just found a really good time. Like, like graduations are over, or school is out for most people by that time. I mean, that was why we originally had it on the date we had, and last year was just talking about anomalies. That was an off, right? So yeah, again, my apologies, but I'm very thankful that everybody that wanted to come can come. So it's a weird situation to be in. Like, so sorry I can't help you, but I'm so super happy that I can help you, Anyway, we said that last time as well. Shirts, this will get published after the shirt order has closed, but I tried to put everything out there on the Instagrams and the Ravelry threads. We've had a couple of exciting announcements, things that we've known about for a long time, so we may have even forgotten that we didn't podcast about them. But Susan B. Anderson is going to be our keynote speaker, and then Barrett Wool is going to be vending for the first time in our market, which is super exciting. I'm really excited because I've filled up a cart at Barrett Wool multiple times, and I really want to do something color work with it. And I know I've seen your colors together, and I know that they do their best for photography, but I really want to get my hands on it and touch it and put it together and go like, oh yeah, that'd be nice, So to see it in person is just going to be like a mecca for me, like, oh, Barrett Wool. And then we had Danny of One Twisted Tree, who, if you've been following her online or on via her podcast, people are knitting squares for her, I believe, and she's aware of said squares, so I'm not spoiling anything. And she will not be able to vend, so we're very sad. And join us in sending love and healing thoughts to Danny as her and her family kind of attack some health issues that have been going on in her family. And then follow that up with, we had that vacancy and we filled it with Stunning String. So the person who, Cindy, who did Vacillate, which is a highly addictive pattern. I've knit multiple times. Amy, you featured it in a mini-sode that has been yet to be published.
Okay.
Spoiler alert! About really loving the Vacillate, and I've been seeing some really pretty ones out on Instagram. But they have Stunning String, which does a lot of combining of those really cool colors in a kit.
Yep, they do have a lot of different patterns. I think she even has a club that announces like Scandinavian type shawl work patterns. Very pretty. And she has kits for all of that stuff, including like beading and little like crochet hooks to do the beading with. And she has the adorable colored locking stitch markers so that you can, like in bright every color of the rainbow.
Yeah. And they've been really good supporters of our retreat in the past, sending little packets of kits to give away for the door prizes, but also I think everybody got a little set of those locking stitch markers in years past for our bags. So yeah, welcome to the fold, Stunning String. And yeah, lots of things that that Amy and I are working very hard on, but we can't talk to you about. So you'll just have to come and find out about them.
Yeah, super fun stuff. And, and we still have some more to get done. And yeah, the days are ticking off. And
they are. I had a minor heart attack when somebody pointed out that it was 2 months. At the end of April, they were like, "Oh, it's 2 months still," and I was like, "What?"
And now it's less.
What? But that said, I think I think my brain is kind of keyed towards the beginning of June because of last year, and so it's like, take a deep breath. It's now towards the end of June.
Yeah.
We've got at least a week or two in there in between the old date and the new date. That lots of stuff can happen, but yes. we're super prepared and super excited. Well, maybe not super prepared at this point, but we will be. By the time you're there. Oh yes, we will. We met with the Doubletree folks, and they're super excited to have us again. And it was when they were doing the unicorn frap promotion, and we got little baby unicorn fraps.
Too sweet. Gross.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. It wasn't. I wouldn't have wanted a big one of it.
Well, yeah.
But it was tasty to my palate.
Not a fan. I saw they're doing dragon ones, or at least somebody posted a picture of green, like a green one with.
I know that they did a Pokemon one.
Okay, well, it's definitely a dragon one because somebody posted a picture of 2 girls that seemed a little less than impressed. Maybe that was just their pose, but they were just like, "Yep, got dragon instead of unicorn."
Yeah,
because they ran out.
Who was I having a conversation with? Oh, there's a lot of teenagers that come in like after school and get those fraps, and that they're super labor intensive.
Oh yeah, so it's a long line.
Yeah. Well, not only a long line, but just that, like if you go to a Starbucks that's adjacent to a school after school gets out, there's a lot of teenagers in there buying those fraps to take a little selfie with. And
yes.
That wasn't on my radar at all. I was like, oh, okay. I don't have a teenager quite yet. It's coming. I can see the writing on the wall.
I don't know. Mine's trying to stay a bit off, but he's a boy, so.
Yes, yeah.
They're a little different.
The girls, they mature a little differently.
Yeah, they're leaping forward. And the boys are kind of hanging back. I want to be a boy more. None of this growing up stuff.
Good on them, right?
Yeah. Good for them.
Stay a kid as long as you can.
Bye.
Bye, Ufta.